Welcome to Espresso Jams, short, concentrated, delicious conversations about business, life, and more. And now, here's your host, Joe Matz.
All right. Hello, everyone. Joe Matz here with Haley Gray, and we were just having an interesting conversation about marketing. And so we thought it was so interesting, we wanted to invite you all into the conversation. And that's how it happened, just very casually like that. And I'd like to ask Haley Gray to introduce herself, tell us a little bit about what she does, and then we'll get into the nitty and the gritty.
Hi, I am Haley Gray, and I'm the owner of Fiercely Marketing, and we do digital marketing for small businesses. And digital marketing is websites, social media, SEO, ads, funnels, content creation, all that digital marketing, black art stuff.
All of that stuff. And that's
That
how the
stuff.
conversation got started because there's a lot of stuff.
hmm
What do you typically see when you get contacted by a business and they ask you how you might be able to help?
Well, so usually what it comes through as is I need help with social media, or I need help with branding, or I need to do the Facebook ads. And that's usually where we start the conversation. And what we usually realize pretty quickly, it's like that picture of an iceberg where you see this much above the water, and then like 98% of it is below the water. And we start kind of grabbing a string and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. And what we discover a lot of times is what they actually ask for in the beginning isn't really what their business needs. It's not necessarily a good fit. It doesn't necessarily work the best for them. Um, and I spend a lot of time talking people out of doing expensive things in their business because they're not necessarily going to be a huge benefit because it doesn't fit in the overall ecosystem of their marketing and an overall strategy.
So, why is a business thinking that they need to do something? And it sounds like you're saying they're not thinking about their overall strategy.
Right. Well, I think that what happens is that somebody tells them that they were doing Facebook ads and they got really good results. And so what they hear is, oh, I did ads on such and such and I got really good results. And so they're like, I need to do that in my business. I clearly need those results in my business. And it's like that tip the iceberg. You just see the I did Facebook ads and I got great results, but you're not considering, what the industry is. Um, is it even the same industry? Does it make sense to do ads this way? Do you have a website that will support doing Facebook ads? Do you have a funnel? Do you have, all these things in place? I have clients who come to me all the time to do Facebook ads, and sometimes it's appropriate, but they don't have any kind of a social media presence to start with. So we run into this chicken and egg problem with Facebook in particular, and Instagram as well, that if you're not posting regularly on your page, it actually costs you more to do Facebook ads. And your ads and your cost per conversion ends up going up. So it's this chicken and egg problem that we end up dealing with.
So, what I'm hearing is it's almost like a patchwork, like a quilt, where you just find fabric over here, fabric over there, some
Mm-hmm.
orange yarn, some red yarn, and put it all together. And what you're promoting is a more holistic view and a more holistic solution to their
Yeah.
marketing efforts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Is that the
Because
right way to look at it?
yeah, it is. It's
Oh,
because all of the pieces tie together and work together. Whether we're talking about doing search engine optimization on a website, and when it's appropriate to do that search engine optimization. But we're also looking at things like, did you know that you can post on Google My Business like it's a social media platform now and give yourself a huge boost to your search engine optimization?
hmm, interesting.
Or posts on Facebook and reviews on Facebook actually give your website a boost on SEO. So we're paying attention to the whole ecosystem and trying to make decisions based on what the client's individual business is, what their business model is, and what's appropriate for them at that point in time. The number of leads they want to generate, how much they can afford to pay per lead that they generate. the types of leads and how they want to generate business. Because some people, for instance, like to do Facebook challenges. I talked to somebody who is a naturopath recently, and he's like, yeah, I've heard about all these challenges that you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, they're really great. And I'm like, how do you want to grow your business? Do you want to do it in, like, you're getting people in and you're doing seminars and workshops and then you get a glob of clients in, or do you want to do it, steadily, onesies, twosies at a time? And he's like, well, I really prefer to get them steadily, onesies, twosies at a time. And I'm like, okay, then we're not talking about Facebook at all and doing a challenge on Facebook. We're probably going to really be talking more about doing Google ads and then figuring out what a reasonable budget is and how many clients you want to convert on Google to get you to the number of clients you need to have by the end of the year. And
Okay, so it's real important, this holistic view. You need the supporting assets, if you will, or the supporting functional parts if you're going to move into advertising on Facebook or do Google ad. It's much better if it's all working together.
It does. And, it has to be crafted around the client's individual business. You can't just say, oh, well, I have this hammer and, and I have a nail and I'm going to hit the nail. When all you have a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. And, really we have an entire toolbox, and we should be using more of the tools in the toolbox rather than just relying on that one hammer.
And Haley, how would someone get in touch with you if they were interested in learning more, discussing their social media and any marketing aspects with you?
Sure. They can actually find me on my website, which is fiercelymarketing.com. And there's a button at the top for a free consultation. And I love sitting and just talking to people and walking through what the options are. And like I was telling you earlier, a lot of times I'm just talking people out of spending money rather than into spending anything whatsoever.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for having this conversation. I think this is really important stuff
Thank
for
you.
a lot of the businesses out there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.